Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Wow, Nikola and the individual executives at Nikola are now facing 3 individual class action lawsuits at the same time as Trevor Milton has now officially completely bailed out of the company. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what's going on, and I'm going to give you information on how to join the 3 class action lawsuits if you lost money from Nikola. You might actually be able to get some money back. No promises, of course. Stay tuned, though, and I will break this down. As usual, make sure to get 1 free stock with Webull via the link down below. Deposit $100 with Webull, and they will give you up to $1,600 of a free stock. And it's as low as 8, so it's anywhere in that range. It's kind of a random draw. And get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes, as well as checking out those programs in the links below. Okay, so quick background. Nikola promised to be a revolutionary hydrogen fuel company. Vehicle company. This promise for the company was that hydrogen was the future of energy. It was some sustainable form of energy that we could quickly refuel long-range vehicles with in as little as 5 minutes, fill up a tank, and get back on the road, maybe 15 minutes for a semi-truck. And hydrogen had that enthusiasm that it could beat out electricity, which takes hours to fully charge up a vehicle again, and be the future of long-range transportation. And this is why I also thought the Nikola Badger's pickup truck was an interesting Trojan horse, because it uses both, or allegedly was going to use both electricity and hydrogen, which is a brilliant way to create hydrogen demand on the streets of America, which when you have hydrogen demand on the streets of America, you get more hydrogen fuel stations, and boom, all of a sudden you have infrastructure for hydrogen semi-trucks. Problem though? The company has never produced anything other than some beautiful marketing and graphics or a Lego set of other people's parts to make what appears to be their own semi-truck. On September 8th, GM partnered with Nikola, saying that they will manufacture the Nikola's Badger pickup truck. This actually created a lot of enthusiasm for Nikola stock, and the stock shot up that day. Well, I tweeted the founder of Nikola and asked why would they partner with GM, and I made a YouTube video the same day saying that I thought this was an audience mismatch. I personally believed that GM car buyers were not the right target for the Nikola Badger. The Nikola Badger should be a target for Tesla potential Cybertruck buyers, who are younger, more often male, and maybe with a slightly higher income threshold than maybe a GM buyer. And this is just comparing publicly available demographics for purchasers of GM vehicles versus Tesla vehicles. Well, when Trevor Milton replied and said, "Don't worry, the GM facilities will just manufacture the vehicle and the vehicle will still have Nikola DNA," I thought to myself, well, what DNA is that? And as soon as I heard this, I recommended selling out. And I sold all of my Nikola shares, and I recommended selling these shares between $45 and $49 per share. 2 days later, the short seller, Hinderberg Research, absolutely took apart Nikola in a scathing report alleging that Nikola towed a truck up a hill, rolled it down the hill to make it seem like it was operating for a video they called Nikola 1 in motion. The report then went on to allege that Nikola didn't even have proprietary battery technology, and Nikola hadn't even made its own power inverters, despite Trevor Milton, the founder of Nikola, saying the company would be vertically integrated and use its own technology. Instead, it seemed like the only thing Nikola was vertically integrating were partnerships with many different companies, although nothing seemed to cohesively come together to actually produce a functioning product. The Hindenburg paper went as far as saying that when Nikola showed off its semi-truck at an event and put the truck on a stage, the truck was plugged in because it couldn't even turn on. Nikola responded and basically admitted that they rolled a truck down the hill, saying they never said the truck was driving under its own propulsion, and that indeed most of their technology was from other companies, but fear not, it is normal for us to use other technologies while we make our prototypes, and eventually we'll use our own revolutionary technologies, including our revolutionary battery technology. Yet Nikola then admitted that there really was no revolutionary battery technology yet. All they had was a partnership with a university, which they previously implied that they had hired a team of professional engineers and PhD researchers in battery tech. when all they really had was a partnership with a university. After Nikola essentially admitted their failures, the stock plummeted and fell straight from its highs of $50 per share in September right to around $29 per share. While there was a nice little bounce off that bottom, today Nikola is substantially lower, down about 15%. In pre-market hours, it was down as much as 28%. And this comes after Nikola essentially admitted their faults and 3 class action lawsuits were filed. Trevor Milton also went dark on social media for about a week. This was after he lost his cool on Instagram and, well, spent some time cursing 2 Fridays ago. And it's no surprise that Trevor Milton went dark after this, because here's the thing. The first thing that happens after you get sued 3 times is your attorneys tell you to shut your mouth and wait. Let everything cool down and stop saying things, because anything you say will be used against you. Well, today at 2:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Trevor Milton announced on Twitter that he is officially stepping down from the company entirely. This is despite the fact that SEC filings from Nikola say, quote, Nikola is highly dependent on the services of Trevor Milton. Each of the 3 lawsuits alleges fraud, and I'm going to link down below how you can join the class action lawsuit against Nikola by each of these 3 different companies. So here's what you've got to do. It's very important that when you go to the description down below, right below the links to all the amazing programs that teach you how to build your wealth, investing in stocks or real estate or making a YouTube channel, it's very important that you go to each of the 3 individual links, and I recommend that you join each of them. Join each of the class action lawsuits. Make sure you have available how much money you lost, basically. They're going to want to know what dates you purchased shares and at what prices you purchase shares, and they can do the rest of the math. So I wouldn't necessarily just type in there, I lost $10,000. Type in when you bought the shares, how much you paid for those shares, and let them do the rest. Get your information in there. They're going to need your full name, your mailing address. They're going to need your phone number, your email, and that share information. Now, a lot of folks were very enthusiastic about the GM partnership, saying, well, GM said they had vetted Nikola very well. The problem is GM didn't have to do any vetting. The reality is GM got a free 11% in a company that could go to the moon or it could go bankrupt. And it's no skin off GM's back. It doesn't matter. But folks, now we've got 3 substantial lawsuits against Nikola. And most of these lawsuits reference the repeated misrepresentation or exaggeration of Nikola's financial, technological, and operational profile. But what's interesting as well about the lawsuits is they don't just sue Nikola, they also sue Trevor Milton personally and some of the other executives at the company. This is just one of the lawsuits claiming false and misleading statements that Nikola towed a truck to a top of a hill just to roll it down, and that Nikola didn't have any proprietary battery technology. That's just lawsuit number 1. Lawsuit number 2 does very much the same thing. Throughout the lawsuit, we hear quotes from this company about how they're vertically integrated or how they can make hydrogen and produce hydrogen way cheaper than the competition. And instead, these lawsuits come out and say these defendants, Nikola, Trevor Milton, acted with sinter, which is basically when you say things that you know are false to try to trick somebody else, aka straight up fraud. These lawsuits are pretty heavily based in that Hindenburg research, but they also pull from multiple other social media accounts that Trevor Milton was essentially misleading everyone who invested in Nikola. All of these lawsuits appear to be demanding a jury trial, which is a little bit more difficult for Nikola to be able to defend, because these attorneys and these lawsuits are going to be able to stand in front of a jury and go, look, this is the video of the truck rolling down the hill. Did that make you believe that the truck was potentially driving on its own? Or, you know, would you ever look at a video like that and wonder, well, I wonder if it's driving on its own self-propulsion system? You know, they're going to be able to slam dunk these lawsuits in a jury trial. Now, no guarantees. Nobody knows what's going to happen with a lawsuit. Who knows? Maybe Nikola can defend all of these allegations. But all I can say is when Nikola responded to the allegations that Hindenburg made, they basically just admitted to fraud and admitted to lying to people. It's not a very good start for Nikola in this now triple threat of lawsuits. And Trevor, even though he may have stepped down from the company, and he might be down, he ain't out, because he's going to be stuck with these lawsuits for years to come. These class action lawsuits will probably last for 3 years, and he's going to be living with the pain of these lawsuits for quite a while. And that's not even to mention the Department of Justice investigating Nikola, and the SEC coming down on Nikola as well. And we'll see how this all unfolds, but wow, this is rough. And all I could say is, I'm glad I'm out. If you're not out yet, I'm not going to give you any kind of recommendations, because the crazy thing is the stock market is so irrational that even when a company goes down in value or it's near bankruptcy, it could always just hurts back up. It's weird. But all I will say is I don't want to be a partner with Nikola at all. I'm very disappointed in this, and hopefully you haven't lost too much money. If you did though, remember, you do have recourse. Go to the 3 links down below. And I'm not sponsored by these. This is not like I'm going to get a referral fee from these attorneys or whatever. I just want to help you out. So go to those links down below. And remember, make sure you have your share date and the amount you purchased to have some hope of getting some money back. All right, good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.